Tonight on the news, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu presents proposed budget of over 2.2 trillion naira to the Lagos State House of Assembly. Plus, NTA Channel 10 Christmas Children's Party ends amidst fanfare. A very good evening to you, and it's good to have you join us on News at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Anuluapo Oluwatoki. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has presented a proposed 2.246 trillion budget to the Lagos State House of Assembly for consideration and approval. The proposed appropriation bills titled Budgets of Renewal as 1.22 trillion set aside for capital expenditure and 1.2 trillion for recurrent spending.
The museum is home to some of the greatest historical.
The appropriation bill would be the first full-year budget since the inception of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration for a second term in office, and representatives of economic, political, cultural and civil society organizations gathered to witness the presentation of the 2024 budget proposal. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the 2024 appropriation proposal would further cushion the effects of the fuel subsidy removal and other economic hardships faced by Lagos residents.
We are working closely with the federal government to wrap up relief measures to help the people of Lagos to alleviate the pains of subsidy removal and the impact of high inflation. We are especially concerned about transportation and food costs, and in the year 2024, we'll be making key investment that is targeted at food security initiatives of the federal government, and for transportation, we are fully on board with the federal government initiative at CNG-powered buses, which will deliver a sizable number of these buses to each state for public transportation.
The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, on his part, noticed that the right indices must be applied in ensuring a functioning and performing budget that will reposition the state towards infrastructural growth and renewal.
We shall monitor the performance, execution, and compliance of the provision of this government. We shall hold state officials that will drive the due initiatives of the government as stated in the budget.
Highlights of the sectoral allocation of the budget include Economic Affairs 535 billion naira, Environment 94 billion naira, Health 156 billion naira, Education 199 billion naira, Social Protection 50 billion naira, and Public Order and Safety 84 billion naira. In Lagos, SC Omomaka, NT News.
The Senate Committee on Arts, Culture and Creative Economy is encouraging agencies under it to explore the creative industry for more revenue generation to the country. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide has more on these and other agencies at the budget defense exercise.
Senator Mohammed Onawa highlights the non-oil sector of the economy, which has greater potential, arts and culture being forth on revenue generation log.
Our entertainment industry alone can sustain our economy if properly harnessed. We have the best history.
Defending the proposed appropriation for year 2024, stakeholders in the sector want the country to deepen the creative industry by meeting their agency's needs.
Separating culture and tourism is not the best for this country. Culture and tourism are together. Culture is the brand identity of the quantity to represent a country. Tourism is to market and promote. You cannot separate boiled yam from pounded yam. That is what is about to happen.
Legal theatre as a price starter is not just a Lagos thinking alone, but national. And for this reason, we have opened up zonal offices in Nigeria today so that we can connect with other parts of Nigeria to feel the impact of the national theatre.
My main problem is our overhead, sir. We have 8 outreaches in the country, and we are being given 7-8 million to run these outreaches. which is too small.
And we have signed an agreement with Germany for the repatriation of 1,130 Benin bronzes. We have signed an agreement with the Honeyman Museum in London, and we have signed an agreement with other museums as well, like the Smithsonian in the US, and others are still, we have advanced.
In honor development, the House of Representatives Committee on Environment at its inaugural meeting assured Nigerians of its preparedness to address environmental degradation through legislation, vis-a-vis policy review.
Our environment has been subjected to very unkind conditions, and our constituencies are suffering the consequences. Flood, pollution, erosion, deforestation, and all kinds of disaster is on the increase as the year goes by, and this calls for urgent steps to be taken to forestall further degradation.
Guided by the legislative agenda of the 10th Assembly, the committee members were enjoined to work assiduously with all sense of responsibility in fulfilling their collective mandate. From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjide, NT News.
Moving on, the need to strengthen public health institutions as a vital means of elevating the living conditions of Nigerians has been emphasized. This was the view of the Chief Medical Director of Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Professor Wasiu Lanre Adeyemo, at the inauguration of a newly renovated High Center at the hospital. The report. Of Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, has reiterated the commitment of federal government to further reinvigorate public health infrastructures that would help alleviate the health challenges of the citizenry.
Government alone, even in developed world, cannot fully fund healthcare. I therefore appeal to all well-meaning Nigerian corporate bodies, multinational companies, to also extend their corporate social responsibility to us as an institution.
Work with us step by step to make sure that the facilities are maintained, and what we've seen today is a renewal of their commitment to the Nigerian concept.
Some beneficiaries of the project expressed dissatisfaction.
Today feels like an exciting day for my eyes, very efficient. So an encouragement to all of us as we are planting seeds, make sure there are seeds that germinate into trees, because you never know who will eat from the fruit of that tree.
The 30-year-old High Center is constructed, managed, and being renovated as a public-private enterprise in Lagos. Meanwhile, the resolve of Nigerian women to have a better deal and contribute their quota to national development remains strong and unflinching. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, reaffirms this at her investiture as the Grand Patron of the National Council for Women's Societies in Nigeria, where she also renewed her commitment to bring fresh impetus to the struggle of gender equality in the country. State House correspondent Adini Itaiwo reports.
Another crowning moment day for Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, as she formally takes on the role of championing the cause of Nigerian women with her investiture as the Grand Patron of the National Council for Women's Societies of Nigeria. Conferring the official title on the First Lady at a ceremony held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, National President of the Council, Hajia Lamilau, says the decision to award her the honor was an easy one for the Council, going by her contributions to gender struggle and women empowerment in the country.
Today, as the First Lady of Nigeria, we anticipate a season of accelerated growth. Our dear First Lady is a model of virtue and consumed with desire to use her position to improve the lives of women and families.
Appreciating the Council for the honor, the First Lady says the agitation for women empowerment is not just for social justice, but also because empowered women are the catalyst for national development. With her new status, her bold face, caring heart, and strong resolve are all expected to provide fresh impetus to the struggle for gender equality in the country.
I will advocate for initiatives that support women's health, economic empowerment, and work towards eliminating all forms of violence and discrimination against women. We are already collaborating with relevant stakeholders to ensure that the voices of women are heard and their concerns are addressed at all levels of decision making.
And riding on the momentum of the ceremony, the First Lady went straight into a meeting with wives of governors from the 36 states of the Federation. The main agenda is their shared concern on how to achieve total eradication of HIV/AIDS, particularly through prevention of mother-to-child transmission, using education and advocacy.
We can do this and we must do it. As the theme for the 2023 World AIDS Day indicates, let community lead. We will be taking the advocacy to our traditional rulers, religious leaders of various faiths, community leaders, educational institutions, and the nook and crannies of the nation.
Also on the table is the Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Program, which is scheduled to hold across the country on the 21st of December this year. Under the scheme, which is to ensure that the elderly are given pleasant Yuletide season, a sum of 100,000 naira is to be given to 250 aged persons from each state. To facilitate easy disbursement, she says each state will be paid the total sum of 25 million naira, urging them to put aside political differences in support of the scheme. In the State House, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
It has become expedient to reposition the national policy on education by implementing strategies that would deliver graduate students who will blend with the labor market's demands. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was speaking at the opening ceremony of the National Council on Education meeting in Lagos. S.A. Onwamaka reports.
The development of education is crucial to the true economic prosperity for any country. Hence the need to chart a new course that will lead to the attainment of the 2030 Education Development Agenda, with a theme addressing the challenges of policy implementation, a panacea for the achievement of Education 2030 Agenda. Stakeholders in the education sector expressed concern over well-crafted policies that are faced with ineffective implementation in the sector and called for prioritization of the education sector by policymakers.
As we deliberate during these sessions, we must reflect on identifying the challenges of quality and access to education, required infrastructure and facilities vis-a-vis the quality of teachers required for the maximum implementation of educational programs.
Government, educational institutions, civil society organizations, and the private sector must work closely to mobilize resources.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented, stressed the need for more collaborative efforts in enhancing the quality of teaching and learning that will produce self-reliant youths in the country.
More importantly, let us resolve to rededicate ourselves to ensuring that our policies are not just fantastic on paper, but are actionable and implemented to achieve the desired result.
The 67th National Council on Education meeting is aimed at addressing the challenges of policy formulation in the education sector and providing lasting solutions that will provide refined educational models in the country. In Lagos, S.A. Onwamaka, NTA News.
You're still watching news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. More to come after this time out. Please don't go away.
This season, golden time to win. The rules are simple. Place bets on any sports event. Get promotional tickets. Take part in prize draws. It's golden season. Golden time to win. Use the promo code to get your welcome bonus.
It's Tonic time. Oh, Tonic. It's no reason to the last drop. Cherry frenzy. It's good for me and you.
Malt Tonic is enriched with vitamins and minerals for that rush of vitality you need to reach greatness.
It's more Tonic time.
Take off into a world of casino games and find your new favorites. Play a few rounds of roulette and see if Lady Luck's on your side. Land those winning combinations in slots and take a hefty bite out of their jackpots. Discover much more games on the 1xBet, where fortune awaits.
Join Helen Paul and Frank Donga as they explore the hills and valleys of Nigeria's vast fertile fields.
Why is rice so expensive?
It is labor intensive.
And discovering future harvest heroes in Nigeria's premier inter-school agricultural quiz competition.
Which of the following is an example of a beverage crop?
Coffee. Correct.
Catch new episodes on NTA Network every Saturday at 6 p.m. and on Arewa 24 TV, 5 p.m. every Sunday. Stay tuned.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. The 2023 NTA Channel 10 Christmas Fun Fair, which came with loads of fun and goodies for children, has come to an end. Oluwabukola Hakande reports that nothing less was expected as the best was reserved for the last day.
For 3 days, children from across Lagos gathered at the premises of the NTA Channel 10 to celebrate the end of the year, and the fun they had was indeed unlimited. Who says fun is only meant for the children? Adults were not let out of the fun. The management of the NTA Lagos Channel 10 expressed appreciation for the success of the 2023 Christmas Fun Fair.
Parents at home want to say thank you for their patronage for celebrating the Christmas Fun Fair with our children in NTA Lagos Channel 10.
I'd like to thank God Almighty who has enabled us to, host more than 1,000, almost 2,000 children in our premises. And, giving us the grace, the strength to manage the fun fair.
The children and teachers shared their experiences.
It's very, very been interesting, and the children, they enjoyed themselves, and all of us together, we enjoyed ourselves.
Considering the fact that children are very, very excited when it comes to Christmas, and having something like this will give them an opportunity to have a positive interaction with pupils from other schools.
Today's Christmas was fine, I enjoyed at the party.
Felt great today. It's wonderful.
You will agree with me that the NTA Lagos Channel 10 2023 Christmas party has left an indelible mark in the hearts of all those that made out time to attend.
And on foreign scene, Russia-Ukraine war, Putin tells Russians his war objectives are unchanged. These and more as we join Christiana Tomology for foreign news.
Putin has told Russians that peace with Ukraine will only take place when we achieve our objectives. He is holding his first major news conference since he launched his first full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Mr. Putin has combined his annual direct line phone-in with Russians with an audience of journalists. The annual event did not take place last year. Much of the first part of this marathon event has been focused on what Mr. Putin calls the special military operation in Ukraine. His initial thoughts addressed the importance of Russian sovereignty. The existence of our country without sovereignty is impossible. It will not exist, he said. Meanwhile, a plan for Italy to send tens of thousands of asylum seekers to Albania for processing has been temporarily blocked by the Albanian Supreme Court. The top court ordered a hearing next month to decide whether the deal violates Albanian constitutions. Under the agreement, the Italian government will build 2 centers in northern Albania to process 36,000 people, hoping to reach Italy a year. But the opposition in both countries and rights groups have criticized it. And that's on Foreign News. I am Christiana Tomology.
Maker Mekbe is our guide on entertainment tidbits.
Effiong Bassi, aka Hida Bassi,
has said she can't date or marry a man who knows how to cook. She said she loves cooking, stressing that she doesn't want a man who will outshine her in the kitchen. The former Guinness World Record holder said her love language is man ordering food for her. Moving on, Nigerian singer Charles Chukwueze Chukwu, popularly known as Crayon, has said his debut album, Trench to Triumph, is a sonic representation of his personal experience. He said the album follows the success story from when he was living in the ghetto with his family in a one-room Face Me I Face You apartment, housing 9 of them, to getting signed to Marvin Record. The Ngozi crooner said his mom sold fruit at Yanoba for 19 years. And that is all on Entertainment News. I am Mika Mekpe.
Many thanks, Mika, for that entertainment tidbits. Ministerial retreat on African and Olympic Games next year ends in Abuja. These and more with Ayodij Makinde on Sports Updates.
A 2-day ministerial retreat on athletes' performance at the African, Olympic and Paralympic Games next year resolved to adopt scientific approach in the preparation by national sports federations. The retreat, which drew participants from 27 African and Olympic Games sports in the country, had interactive sessions with resource persons led by Professor Ken Anogweje of University of Port Harcourt.
The athletes really don't have too much role to play in the matter. It's what the coaches tell them that they do. And because this retreat has involved the leadership of the federations, we hope there will be a trickle-down effect.
Today's sports performance, have gone in a new dimension. It's now an area of scientific and technology, and that is what we want to adopt now in ensuring that we move the trend of events at the global level.
In a related development, Nigeria Wrestling Federation will ensure participation in more world-ranking tournaments as it prepares to go beyond a silver medal won at the Tokyo Olympic Games 3 years ago. President of the Federation, Daniel Igali, who explained efforts at overcoming the challenges of sponsorship, expressed optimism on multiple podium finishes at the African and Olympic Games next year.
Because of sponsorship issues, we've not been able to carry 30, 40 athletes like we ordinarily should. But we have our eyes on the 4, 5, 6 that we think will be able to keep their own amongst the best in the world.
In football, Matchday 6 actions return in the UEFA Europa League this evening, with Nigeria's Victor Boniface expected to lead the attack for Bayer Leverkusen when they take on Molde at the Bay Arena. French side Olympique Marseille are in England to play Brighton. West Ham United entertain Freiburg, and Greek side AEK Athens are up against Ajax. With Sports Update, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
On that note, we wrap up the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Mika Mekpe is standing by for the Ogu translation of the news. Many thanks for your time. I'm Hanoluapo Uluwatoki. Good evening.
Kwabo mi kudo ojai mi kudo tito lile na semite son NTA Channel 10 awon mi mateton Mika Mekpewe lile no to din awon ni matenga Babajide Sanwo-Olu ko do hodogun tito akwesina kwen meton he yino za na ehewe to yin ura teta de na doze tito ene ba do ayi to woni na ebio home ura we go we yedo tito akwesina to na akwedi live do no foton ena for we chiropo we yan akwesina ne we eze tito ene boda ena for senho awon ni mateton na do so gan pon le yeto tito akwesina to ene basido we do mi na kan lo do pohe to gbo kholu Nigeria to na do so gan wa zona nkan yi awon ni mateton yedo akwesina hele ena tin na do gwalo to awa temetemeji na me lilo si awa jipura wa devo le pojiga po mo po àwọn ni ma ten to temeteme ze boda yi na nukan yi to gbo àwọn ni meton na pàtàkì dógbọn ìwé àmì ìbílẹ̀ sí ti tó yéwù mẹ́hẹ́ ìwé àmì fólẹ̀ nàdó sọ̀gán tó àsán mọ̀ tó àwọn ní má tẹ̀mẹ̀. kẹ́rẹ́ dìde ẹ̀hìn àwọn ní má tẹ̀ sí tẹ̀léhùn kò wà sán fódó wẹ̀yẹ́ dọ̀ tó àzán sẹ́gọ́dọ̀ tó wẹ̀yẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti tó nàdó sọ̀gán tó nàmẹ̀ yíyá náà yọ̀pọ̀ fúnlẹ̀ wẹ̀yẹ́ dọ̀ numimọ emi tɔn wɛ emi ko yanwule na ye ko do na mɛ yia na yɔkpɔ fúnlẹ̀ tó àwọn ní ma tɛmɛ bɔn e ba sinu ne bo hɛn xɔmɛ tɔn o gán de ye ko lɛn do na do sɔgán wa do wɛ alɔ ye tɔn ko kpe godo ena ye nu de bo hɛn xɔmɛ tɔn bɔn ye sɔ do o ye to nu dɔ do ye wo mɛ gualɔ na ye na ti to mɔ tɔn kɔ ni do wa yi mɛ lɛ mɛ tsɛ lɛ mi xa fana wòdza ye tɔn kaka dze sɔ mi na sɔ kpe mi ka mɛ kpe wɛ lɛ nɔ eyi zan.
Thank you.